But I also have one of the most beautiful people who is joining me as my co-host. We have Dr. Fern, who's from Trinidad and Tobago. Hi, Dr.
Tobago.
Fern.
Hi,
Tobago.
Rhea.
I'm
Thank you
sorry.
so much.
My South Africanness came out. I see a G, I go all the time. All the time. My South African came out for a second there. But yeah, so it's gonna be our responsibility to make sure that you have a good time. And we're gonna have a good time too, Dr. Fern, right?
Yes, of
While we're
course.
doing
Of
this?
course.
Course. Of course. Well, I'm so happy to see you guys all here. And first thing that I want to do is welcome ourselves because I mean, it took a lot for the Global Arts and Medicine Fellowship to have something this incredible to be, right? I'm going to welcome my amazing co host who's here with me. And I'm going to welcome myself as well because I mean, you guys are just going to have like the best time because we're hosting today. But I'd also like to welcome the new fellows, and we're going to do something very special in order to welcome them. Um, thank you so much for being here. Thank you for actually taking the steps to become a new fellow. And I'm so proud that you're taking this journey. As a Global Arts and Medicine fellow myself, as part of the alumni, I know exactly what it means to have gone through this journey and how important and welcoming the group of individuals you're about to meet are. So, welcome.
Hola, marhaban, khabari, guten tag, salam alaikum, dumela, and welcome to the Global Arts in Medicine Fellowship opening ceremony. Hola, marhaban, khabari, guten tag, salam alaikum, dumela, and to stay open as you embark on this beautiful journey. Here you make friends that you will not ever make anywhere else. You'll keep connections that will help you only grow and thrive in the work that you're doing. Here you'll be seen and celebrated for who it is that you are, for your individuality. And so I hope that you are excited just as I am.
A massive welcome to all of the new Global Arts in Medicine Fellows. I hope you have a wonderful time learning together and connecting with one another. I know you're going to have an amazing journey ahead. Best of luck with it all.
And a warm welcome to our newest fellows. We're so happy to have you. Welcome on board. The Global Arts and Medicine Fellowship for me was an amazing opportunity where I got to meet, interact, and network with the smartest and creative minds in the world. Please take advantage of this life-changing opportunity, network, and bring out the most creative side of you.
Hi and welcome to the cohort that is now starting the fellowship in arts and medicine. My name is Lama. I am the founder of Abtalana, which is a social enterprise dedicated to raising awareness about childhood cancer. I myself have intersected arts and medicine by creating a children's book on childhood cancer. The fellowship amazed me by the number of people who, like me, want to do good in this world. I wish everyone all the best. Hi and
Victoria Mirabakini. I am from Uganda. I am the co-founder and executive director of Streetlight Uganda, an art organization that uses art to get children off the streets. I just want to welcome you today for the Global Arts in Medicine Fellowship. This is one of the most amazing fellowships you will ever attend, and it's my very first fellowship that I ever attended, and it was a life-changing moment for me. So I just want to welcome you. You're going to enjoy so much, you're going to learn a lot, and you're in the right place.
I'm so excited to know that you all made it through to the Global Arts and Medicine Fellowship this year. Beyond learning how arts infuses with medicine, it's a platform where you develop your personal skills, your leadership skills, your teamwork skills.
This is an exciting experience, and you're gonna get more than you expected. It's not the normal webinars, but you're gonna be loaded with so much that you can take into life and in everything that you do, from work, from your personal relationships, and also for inner healing.
What I love the most about Arts and Medicine Fellowship is how transformative it can be for the individuals, as it was for me personally. I also love how it allowed me as an allied health professional to combine arts and creative practices with healthcare and well-being. Now, when it comes to my experience, I think I was allowed not only to grow as a person, but also to enhance my knowledge significantly, thanks to the facilitators who shared generously.
Yes, welcome, 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 Global Arts and Medicine fellows. You're officially fellows now. So please like take that and like roll with it all the time. Um, you've seen that we have a lot of people from different countries, from different nationalities, from different cultures that you're going to be able to collaborate and work with. And I'm going to tell you, use the opportunity wisely. Next up, we're going to have the Arts and Medicine Fellowship Anthem, which is something that was started, I think 2020 was when the final recording was made. It is one of the things that is very, very impactful because it happened during COVID times. And yeah, I think you guys are going to definitely enjoy it.
I believe I was sent to bring joy to the world. I believe that I own them, my love and my care, more than just an armor, a light in the dark and a flower in bloom. Heal, bloom.
Right. That was our anthem as the Global Arts and Medicine Fellowship. I almost went on another tangent now, which is something that you're gonna probably hear about later on. Right now, I'm going to introduce the one person who actually like put me on to the Global Arts and Medicine Fellowship. She's the one who was like, "Hey, go apply," and I did. We're gonna have opening remarks by Oyinda Mola Faithful, who is the Global Arts and Medicine Fellowship um, Director of Special Projects, and also she is Artistic Director of CCA Lagos. Oyinda, hey.
Hi, Ria. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, everybody. It's so exciting. You know, when I was listening to the song and just thinking back to 2020, and of course, everything was going on, you know, globally, we had the pandemic. But one great thing about that season was we were able to very quickly move the fellowship from an in-person you know, program that was just running in Lagos to I think we went first of all around the continent, and then we've been able to go global. And I just really I'm very, very grateful that we were able to do that, because now we're here with you all celebrating the 6th edition of the Global Arts in Medicine Fellowship. And I'm happy to announce that we have fellows from 39 countries that are joining this edition of the fellowship. We have people with professional backgrounds in film directing, product management, education, advocates, scientists, social workers, public health professionals, artists, musicians, theater makers, writers, teachers, translators. We have podcasters, art therapists, photographers, psychologists, psychotherapists, researchers, medical students, mental health counselors, psychoanalysts, journalists, visual artists, project managers, social reformers, founders, sustainable public health workers, health and wellness facilitators, community connectors, medical doctors. So as you can see, people from all sorts of backgrounds that are joining today and joining this journey. I hope that you guys really take on everything that you're going to learn as you go down the new tracks as well. I think you'll hear about the changes that are taking place to this edition. I hope that you all see each other as co co-organizers, co-directors, co-fellows who will be taking this program and who will be implementing global opportunities that will have lasting impact on the audiences that you are going to be working with. One thing I enjoy about this fellowship is that it's very iterative, in that we take the learning from each edition and we respond to that in real time. So we're able to grow very quickly and to respond very quickly to the needs of our fellows. So I hope that you guys see yourselves as co-developers of this program as well. We recognize the skills that are in this room. We recognize the impact that each and every one of you is already making to your audiences. And we're excited for the new connections that are going to happen, regional connections, global connections. Of course, we have the Global Arts in South Week that's also going to be taking place. And we recognize that there are leaders in this room, leaders on this platform, who by this time next year, who will be occupying those facilitator roles, those leadership roles. Every single one of us, myself, Rhea, Kefilwe, we've all taken the fellowship. You know, we were all once fellows, you know, and then we rose up into positions of leadership. And so I'm excited to be joining with you this afternoon in Lagos. And for those of you who are watching the AFCON finals today, go Lagos, go Nigeria, should I say. You know, I just know that this afternoon from Lagos, this morning, good evening for some, is just going to be filled with such inspiring content. I'm looking forward to hearing about some of the projects that are being engaged by new fellows that will be shared and hearing from the speakers this afternoon. I'm just going to reiterate that there's a lot of content. There's a lot of fantastic content, should I say, that you are going to be engaging with, that you are going to be producing. And I ask that you do your best to be committed, should I say, take the time out. We've done our best to make sure that the content is really like very clear, hard hitting, to the point, so that you are focused when you have sessions. I understand that some of you will have other things that will take you away, but please do watch the recordings and do it in the time period as well, between each week, so you're not falling behind. I look forward to everybody's joining everybody at the end of the project for the final Arts in Health Week projects as well, and celebrating all of you as graduates and as alumni. Again, thank you to everybody that's joined today. Thank you to our facilitators. I can see so many of our wonderful facilitators, and to the other leaders that are here as well. And thank you all for your commitment to the field of arts and health and arts and medicine.
Thank you so much, Linda. I wouldn't have said it better myself, especially when you said that we will, at the end of the day, every single fellow here will get the opportunity and will be in leadership positions in the future. And I love the fact that that's what we're breeding. We're breeding leaders within this fellowship. And I just love the interconnectivity and the connections that we're building because of that, which is beautiful. All right. So for a little breather, we're going to have a music interlude by Simidele. I'm so sorry. Sometimes I butcher names, guys, okay? Just bear with me. Ayodeji, who is a Global Arts and Medicine Fellow, alumni from Nigeria.
Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are around the world. My name is Simidele, and I'll be singing for you today. This is a song that I wrote. It doesn't have a title yet, but I hope you enjoy and I hope you're inspired. And welcome once again to Arts in Medicine. Okay. Hello, welcome to this thing called life. Don't you let it pass you by. Oh, we've been waiting for the day you'd arise. They say the journey of 1,000 miles begins when you take a stride. So take a leap on this road of possibilities. Be brave, go chase after all your dreams. Be bold now, row against the stream. Now is your time, can you see it? Keep hope alive and believe that you're the one we've been waiting for. Look up at the stars, you will see that the future is bright. Oh, believe that you're the one we've been waiting for. Show us what you've got in store. Hello, welcome to a brand new day. Don't worry, it is not too late. Shake off the dust, don't let the sun go to waste. Oh, Keep hope alive and believe that you're the one we've been waiting for. Look up at the stars, you will see that your future is bright. Oh, believe that you're the one we've been waiting for. Show us what you've got in store. Thank you, and hopefully see you guys soon. Bye.
You guys are the one that we've been waiting for. You just heard Simidele say it. So now it's time for you to believe it. All right, moving forward, we're going to have some testimonials because you guys have to know the reason why you're actually here and how the Global Arts and Medicine Fellowship has changed our lives and has impacted our lives. And one way to hear that is by hearing all the testimonies of the previous people who've been in your situation and in your space. So we're going to have some testimonials, and I'm going to read you guys some of the amazing things that have been said about the Global Arts and Medicine Fellowship. Right. Got some testimonials coming. Right, so my experience with the Arts and Medicine Fellowship has been phenomenal. I've learned a lot about how art can be used as a medium of healing both physical and mental ailments. I have been exposed to different facilitators from different countries and spheres of life whose contribution to healing the world through art is exceptional. I'm also amazed by the many women doing this fellowship and their dedication to reaching out to people in their communities. I've enjoyed all of the sessions and have loved how facilitators go the extra mile to source evidence and research to back up their presentations. They accommodated and respected every fellow and their beliefs. Lastly, I enjoyed how inclusive the program has been, as both the visual, performing arts were incorporated and used together as a mode of healing. I have enjoyed every moment with the fellows. By Matla Pauline from Botswana. Next slide. Thank you. Right, so we have one here from Brazil. For me, participating in the program was very important. The classes provided references on research, evaluation, and the medical perspectives on the impact of art supported by empirical data. For me, in the field of art, being able to conceptualize, justify, and evaluate the process I undertake is of fundamental importance. The practical part was a bit challenging for me due to not fully understanding how to execute it. However, the opportunity to carry out an action with colleagues from Brazil, a vast country, and with people from distant regions made me realize that it is possible to share knowledge, experiences, and immediate real work perspectives without language barriers, even with the cultural differences in our country. From Andrea Alexandra, who is a museum art educator and professor from Brazil. All right, we have another one from China. We have Ziyu Wen, who is a PhD student, and they say, I'm honored to be the group leader of Group 10. This valuable experience taught me so much of arts and health, arts and medicine. I appreciate the Global Arts and Medicine Fellowship because it gave me the opportunity to work with amazing people from all around the world. And I will definitely encourage people around me to participate in this fellowship program. Thank you. Right, another one from Egypt says, I'm thrilled to share my heartfelt testimonial about my transformative experience during the Arts and Medicine Fellowship. Participating in this program has been an absolute game changer for me, both personally and professionally. Throughout the fellowship, I had the opportunity to explore various artistic disciplines and their application in healthcare settings. Whether it is painting, music, dance, or creative writing. Each modality offered a unique way to connect with patients and their families, providing them with comfort, joy, and hope. I wholeheartedly recommend the Arts and Medicine Fellowship to anyone seeking to merge their passion for the arts with their desire to make a difference in healthcare. It is an extraordinary journey that will empower you, inspire you, and transform the way you approach healing and well-being. From Kalin, Egypt. We have so many great testimonials. I don't know how you guys are going to keep up at this point. All right, another one from Ethiopia. It was honestly one of the best experiences I have had. It was very insightful, interesting, and inspiring. I gained so much from the webinars and interactions with my fellows, and also from the project we did. I loved seeing all the things that are possible through arts and medicine. The admins and facilitators were also very helpful and open for any issues we had, which made the experience that much better. I'm excited to use all the things I learned throughout this fellowship in the future as I am in the medical field. So you're not an island. We have people who will help you. A fellow, Dr. Nana Abba from Ghana, said it was an enlightening experience with many eureka moments. I saw health as it was in art within me, without me, and with me. I'm grateful for the carefully chosen topics that were covered during our virtual learning sessions. I'm also grateful for the free yet guided rein that we received to think, carve, and present health to our communities. I appreciate the organization, its leadership, volunteers, alumni, and current fellows. This fellowship is not a one-time thing. It is a long-term for the workers in its field of harvest, the givers and the receivers. The moment remains, the healing remains. All right, and then we have Chike, who was also a medical doctor from Nigeria. And he says that he learned how amazing arts can be and the significant impact arts can make in people's lives. This fellowship offered me opportunity to understand interwoven links between arts and medicine and how arts can be harnessed in helping and improving the lives of people. The fellowship helped me to learn that arts, if effectively combined with medicine, would help a lot of more patients respond to treatment because art can be therapeutic. It would uplift their spirit and enhance their participation in their wellness. I hope to harness the lessons I learned from this fellowship in my practice as a medical doctor. Catherine, who is a drama therapist and mental health planner, who is a fellow from Trinidad and Tobago. I said it as Tobago this time. I didn't go Joanna immediately and say it, which I'm very happy about. Says that this experience came at the best time where I was exploring how to use the talents and skills and education that I already have to make an impact in my community. This fellowship opened my eyes to the myriad of possibilities that are available to me in merging my passions in a meaningful way. The presentations and contributions of the other fellows created a rich environment of learning and growth. I am now filled with so much hope, curiosity, and drive to learn more and to sharpen my tools with this wealth of knowledge from this fellowship. Arts and medicine is where I am called to live out my purpose. I am now convinced and forever grateful for this fellowship. I loved the fact that arts and medicine is where I'm meant to live out my purpose. That's beautiful. We have Salma Ben, who is a speech therapist from Tunisia, who says, first, allow me to express my deep gratitude to the Arts and Medicine Fellowship experience, which has not only contributed to my personal growth, but has also enhanced my knowledge significantly. Participating in this international program has filled me with pride and gratitude. I want to extend my thanks to every facilitator involved. Each of them generously shared valuable information within their respective fields of expertise. I particularly enjoyed the sessions on creative practices. Furthermore, topics such as social prescribing, the distance between arts and health and art therapy, and community-based participatory research were eye-opening for me. Being part of my regional group was a highlight, as it introduced me to amazing individuals and allowed me to forge meaningful friendships. Our project focused on working with children undergoing hemodialysis holds a special place in my heart. The experience was not only moving, but also life-changing. Being able to share moments of joy, sing, play the guitar, and draw or paint through a painful situation was immensely touching. It was heartwarming when some of them expressed a desire to learn the guitar like me. In conclusion, words fall short in expressing the depth of my gratitude for this transformative fellowship experience. I am truly thankful for the opportunity to promote health and well-being through the arts and for the sense of community and shared purpose that this fellowship has fostered. All right, and then the last one, we have Michelle, who is from the United Kingdom and is the Green and Arts Wellbeing Service Manager, who is also a Global Arts and Medicine Fellow. He says that I had an amazing time in the program. Of course, content was great, jam-packed with lots of relevant topics to my practice, and delivered by such fantastic, diverse team of professionals. There were a lot of great examples and practical demonstrations and interactions that embedded my learning. I feel armed with a wide array of arts and health tools that I can use to develop my arts and health practice. A wealth of materials, links, and resources I can dive deeper into. A network of artists and clinicians I can connect and work with. The course has given me practical experience of collaboration right from conception. Lots of fantastic development work learning. I highly recommend this course to any artist or health professional looking to combine both practices. So there you have it. That is the amazing, amazing testimonials that we have from all of the different fellows who've been through this process and have experienced all of the things that you are about to experience. I'm actually excited for you. If anybody wants to change spots with me and like not become a fellow and for me to take their place, hit me up and we'll make it happen. But before I leave you with my amazing co-host, we are going to have a fireside chat with Sibashe Mabaso. And this is very, very interesting for us to essentially have. Right, next up, we are going to have Sibashe, who is here to basically have a fireside chat with us. Sibashe Mabato, who's also in Bloemfontein with me. So for the first time, even though we are virtually, I'm with somebody in the same seat, which is really nice. Hi, Sibashe, how are you?
Hi, Ria. I'm well, excited, nervous, happy to be here with everyone, but I'm well. How are you?
I'm good. I'm so happy to be here with you. So please, Bashe, tell us a little bit about yourself, about the work that you do, and especially what inspires you right now.
Sure. So obviously we need to start introducing ourselves with labels and that is I'm a multidisciplinary theatre maker, I'm an educator, I am also an assistant researcher here at the Center for Teaching and Learning at the University of the Free State. But more than anything here, I'm just in my capacity as an artist, a director, playwright, and performer. And I love to say a trier, so someone that tries despite. I am constantly trying. I think that's just who I am as a person, more than the titles that we give ourselves or that are allocated to us. I am a trier, I'm an artist, I'm a feeler, and someone that really just tries to tell stories on behalf of other people, for other people as well. If I were to sum it up like that. Yes. Yeah.
That's a very amazing way to actually say it's trying, always trying new things, and I guess being a lifetime learner, I guess, and always learning something new.
Yes.
But can you share some insight for us about where you were born and how essentially your childhood was like for you? So we have some background on what made you you.
Yeah, so I was born in a small town. Bethlehem isn't really a small town, but I was born in a small city over the holidays, December holidays, 1999. My mom had come this side to visit her family, but I was raised in Esport in KZN, in a township, Ewembezi. So that's kind of what, formed my foundation. So obviously we know that, townships have a high rate of crime and so on and so forth. But I was so fortunate enough that my parents worked super hard to give me a good education throughout. So from preschool all the way till high school. That's kind of where I got exposure, obviously, to the arts. We have arts and culture, we have all of those things. But I'm happy to say that although there were challenges that we face, so financial and otherwise, other challenges that happen, in marriages and family things, I had a childhood that really groomed me to be who I am today, in the sense that it made me or taught me what we have as South Africans, the foundation of Ubuntu, taught me how to live with other people. And I kind of just brought that into my work when I did realize that I want to do this work. Yeah, and that's basically it. I'm a township girl who was never really in the township because I was in boarding school. But yeah, I'm a township girl. I'm a township girl. I connect myself to that quite deeply.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
speaking from the fact that you are a township girl, I know exactly what that is like. Trust. I actually lived in Bethlehem for a bit, so I kind of understand the
Really?
atmosphere. Yeah, small world. But I just wanted to understand that because of the fact that the way township living is, it's very rare for you to find opportunities to be exposed to theater and
True.
the arts in that. So,
True.
what was your first exposure to theater and the field of arts and health?
True, that is very true. So it had to be at school, had to be in preschool. I think we had a production, I think it was it called Mr. Sun? I don't know, but I was playing Mr. Sun. I remember that. So my exposure to arts was basically through plays, obviously at school, when they'd say, okay, all the grade R's need to be involved in a play, all the grade threes need to be doing a play. And I was also nervous about it and never really wanted to do it, but I did it anyway, and it felt good to form part of something big and to see how it made other people feel as well, and to see how it built ensemble amongst people. So it was always something that I reluctantly did, but I always found myself going back to it. It's school. Because like you're saying, the township, there isn't much exposure, to such things. So school had to be the platform that showed me, oh, these are the things that you can experience, Yeah.
Oh, okay, that's awesome. So, basically, that exposure in school pretty much ignited your love for the arts and theater and so forth. All right, I completely understand that. So now that you were exposed at an early age in school, right, that had to obviously grow and develop into something else, right? And there has to be something that continues to motivate you to keep doing what you do now, because it's not in the arts. So what essentially inspires you to do what you do? And how's the journey been, essentially?
I think I'm such a fan of education, because I'm going to keep talking about school, but I think in being in a school environment has really taught me how important it is to be able to tell stories, right? And what they do for people. I want to reference intersectionality, because I am marginalized, you are marginalized, right? We marginalize individuals. So my, let me say, professional or higher education exposure to theater showed me the importance of telling marginalized stories, of speaking for those that are not spoken about when you step into an industry and you see that it caters to only a certain group of people. So when I went into drama or theater, I wanted to be a drama teacher. That was what I had set out to do. And then I found myself, I'm now doing honors, I'm now doing my master's, and I haven't yet stepped into that yet. because I was now spending time seeing how I want to tell stories about people like myself. So that then became a newfound passion. I want to be able to show how women in the LGBTQIA plus community are treated in South Africa. I want to bring that, because that's my lived experience as well. And when I go to the theater, I don't see that happening around me. Do you get what I mean? So that's kind of the newfound passion. It's very new. It's very, very recent, but that's kind of been the journey in terms of that. Yeah.
Right, that's very inspiring, especially because for me as well, trying to tell queer stories and stories about BIPOC individuals, a huge aspect of why I do the things I do. But I wanted to know, what is the one major impact story? We all have an impact story, right?
Yeah.
In your work that you can't stop talking about, like the same way you just spoke about the LGBTQI community, or whether or not it's telling stories about you as a Black woman. What's the major impact story that makes sure that you keep doing what you're doing?
My favorite story, and one thing that kind of validated that this is what I want to do, in 2022, I approached the Art and Culture office here at the University of the Free State, and I asked him, I said, listen, I'm keen to do work. Let me know if there's anything, any projects. I'm always trying to practice what I've learned, because you learn something, it's good to practice it, put it on the floor, see if you can do it, see how you can teach other people as well in the process. Then they approached me for a production. They said, we want to do Sarafina by Dr. Mbongeni Ngema. And I said, why do Sarafina? Because we have our own version of Sarafina happening now, post 1976, because we've been having strikes on campus. Students have been hungry because of government funding, all of those things. So then we decided, okay, we're going to tell a story, which is a broken Sarafina. We're going to audition students from different faculties, so students who wouldn't necessarily be involved in the arts, students who know nothing about the arts, students who haven't seen a theater piece at all. So we then went out into the faculties, and so it's all faculties, theology, health, and so on and so forth. And we auditioned these students, and then we formed our cast. And now a major part of that for me was that even though I am not necessarily a drama teacher in the capacity that I thought I would be, I still got to share the skills that I'd learned thus far with those students. We had a good show. Dr. Mbongeni Ngema even came to the show, and they are avid theater makers. I think more than half of them are creating their own works now, are interested in coaching other people as well. They had no theater background. They got to showcase at a festival. Now they are interested in the arts. Now they're always asking, Siba, tell me if there's a production. Siba, when can I audition for a show? I had one of my cast members who were there who recently approached me and said that I really want to study drama. That experience taught me about my passion and, the impact of that work. So for me, I hold that very dear to my heart, that we were putting on a show not necessarily according to the standards of good or bad theater, but we were telling a story that was relevant to students, with students who had gone through it as well. And in the process, it was a learning process. And now we have at least 10 people who are now contributing to the arts industry in various ways, who before knew nothing about the arts, So that for me was very validating and affirming in terms of the work that I do. Yeah.
No, that's really, because I actually did catch Broken Sarafina. I was still working with the
Did
Festival of
you?
Fragrance at the time. Yeah, so I did manage to catch it. But I get what you're meaning by saying that it wasn't necessarily good or bad theater in terms of the academic way of looking at it, or in the structural way of looking at theater specifically. But it did kind of tap into your attitude as a teacher, as somebody who wants to skills. So as a recipient of Nobel recognition, how are you paying it forward? Because it's okay for us to have recognition, but how do you pay it forward? And yes, we can talk a little bit about therapy and how you paid it forward in that, but how do you pay forward what it is that you know and the work that you do?
Thank you for that. I like that question. But obviously, Broken Sarafina is a good example of that as well. I try as much as I can, at least, to be involved, not necessarily in a student production, but to work with students, because I'm very passionate about the youth development as well. And also, sometimes when you have a platform, Ria, you realize that you would have appreciated to know someone like that when you were that age or when you were in that space. Yes. So I try to pay it forward in that way. And I'm very intentional about who I work with. So I'm very intentional about working with people who are still learning, just like I'm learning. I'm very intentional about working with women, primarily Black women. Very, very intentional about that, writing stories for or having people that work for me in tech who are people who come from the same backgrounds as us. So very, very intentional about the stories that I tell and the people that I invite to have a seat at the table, because I know that I would still appreciate a seat at the table in that sense. So that's how I pay it forward, I would say. I'm now trying, even though I have this thing of, do I know enough to even be mentoring other people? I'm now trying to mentor other people as well. If I have an opportunity, I share it with other people. I open up and hold space for other people to come to me as well, and for me to teach them what I know thus far. Even though I have my doubts and I feel as if, I'm not trained, I'm not skilled, because I'm also constantly in mentorship. But at least bringing people with you as you progress is a major, major thing for me. Yeah.
Yeah, I like that. Bringing people forward and giving people a seat at the table, because we know how difficult it is to have our own seat at the table in any way, shape, and form. But now that you are finally accepted as part of the Global Arts and Medicine Fellowship, right? What additional changes or differences are you going to make, or do you want to make, specifically in South Africa and beyond? What changes do you want to make?
What changes do I want to make? I think accessibility is a big thing. In November/December of last year, I was working with one of my closest friends and who's also a practitioner, Butumelo Rit. She took a project to Pelindaba, which is a township as well here, big township in Bloemfontein. She did Bantu Tales, so it was a skills development thing. And I was in the pilot phase of the process. And that's something that I'm really, really passionate about, skills development. So if there were to be an opportunity to use the resources that come from being part of this fellowship, it's how do I then take that work, collaborate, and take that into communities? Because it's one thing for us to put something up in the city, have those numbers and say, great, we did a good job. There are still people in the city who need that, but it's another thing to go into areas where people don't want to step into and share what you have and work with the resources that they have and combine and teach and leave people with something that they can utilize, or give them tools, or even change their lives in a way that you have given them space or held space for them to be seen. They know that the arts are now a creative output. They know that the arts are now a way for them to understand their lived experience, So if there was something that I would change, it's accessibility, as well as the availability of funds for us to do this, the support that we can get to be able to do this, to do passion projects and take them into the communities. Because it's lovely, man, to put up work in the metropoli. It's amazing. But after I was involved for that short while in Bantu Tales, I saw that it's even a greater thing to be able to go into a community that no one sees potential in and bring life to there. And do that community building and engagement with the people there. Yeah. Easier said than done. But we definitely need more support networks when it comes to bringing work into communities like that. Yes, because more often than not, those are the communities that need for us to integrate.
Yeah, that's very true. That's really, really true. Yeah, and I'm glad that you're taking the steps, obviously, to go into the Global Arts and Medicine Fellowship, so you can learn some of these ways in order to integrate. And one of the most important things I think you're going to learn as part of the Global Arts and Medicine Fellowship is resilience, right? And how basically you can go into a community and already tap into resources that exist instead of waiting for resources. But we know that in this world there's a lot of competition, and because of the fact that we live in such a competitive atmosphere, we're competing for funding, for resources, we're competing for all of these different things. What do you think about collaboration, and how can collaboration be meaningful and how can we create meaningful and respectful cross-cultural collaborating within different cultures and cultures that you didn't even think you could probably collaborate with? How important is that in this atmosphere of competition all the time?
We are in a very competitive industry, I'm not going to lie, because there's only so much funding. We are all trying to get a gig, we're all trying to put out work. But I do believe that at the end of the day, what we do, as soon as we realize that what we do is not for ourselves but for others, then we are able to then come together for the better good. Because it's only this year that I actually realized how important it is to collaborate, because a lot of my peers and I have been saying, oh, we're waiting for funding, we're waiting for work, we're waiting for this, we're waiting for that. And then we're like, but guys, we can do it without. It's just a matter of seeing that you, Ria, are good at this, I am good at this. Let's sit down and make this happen, And I think coming from a place of realizing that you are privileged, it's good for us to realize that we are privileged to be able to sit here with a computer, with Wi-Fi, and be able to have a conversation. Those are resources that other people don't have. Realizing our privilege and the resources that we have at our disposal will then ultimately allow us to see how we can make things happen for other people using just what we have, right? So I'm not really competitive when it comes to the work that I do, because I also am a firm believer that when it's my time, it's my time. When it's supposed to be mine, it's supposed to be mine. But I've come to realize that certain things that I want to achieve, and if I really want to do art for the benefit of other people and not for my own self-fulfillment or to be put on high regard, I need to be able to reach out to Ria, say, Ria, you have good experience in art administration. Can you please advise me? Ria, let's come together and do this thing. Yes, we need to put food on the table. Food on the table will come. But at the end of the day, we need to open up to see that we are better. And it sounds, excuse me, very cliche and la-di-da. But we are better if we bring forth all that we have, all the resources that we have, to work for other people. I don't know, I'm not articulating this well enough because it sounds super cheesy, but it's true. Once you realize that you're in a place where you can activate and cultivate change for other people, you realize that it's not for you. What we do is not for us. And yeah, I'm not competitive, so I can't really answer the question fully. But I'm open to collaboration. I'm excited about collaboration. I've seen collaboration breed a lot of good and positive things for people. We've seen collaboration in various forms. We've seen collaboration in protests. We've seen collaboration in classrooms. So yeah, I think it's a good thing for us to be able to form those bonds. And for me, this is the first experience going into arts and medicine, joining these two very different fields and seeing how they can each inform each other, seeing how your experience as someone that is in Hungary can teach me about how to cultivate change in my society. Yeah, the more diverse we are, the better we can actually understand what it means to be human. I don't know if that makes sense, but yeah.
Perfect sense. And what you just said actually reminded me of something Dr. Jerry Mofoke has said. He's always saying that actors are too much in a hurry to become stars, right? Yep. And first become an artist and be professional in everything you do, and then everything else will come afterward. So I think it's really nice in that perspective. Well, for my last question of the day, before I let you go, I'm telling everybody that my main dream is to be a drama therapist. That's what I want to do in my life. I want to do. Right? So anyone who knows me knows I want to be a drama therapist, and I'm currently in the journey to do that. So what is your biggest dream? What is that one thing that kind of means like that's it for you? What is your biggest dream?
And it's possible, yeah, for you to be that. It's possible. It was also a dream of mine once, But what I'm going to say is I have different dreams depending on where I am in life, you know. So if you would have asked me a year or two ago, I'd have told you I want to register a company to, you know, do skills development within the communities. But now that I am putting out work and more people want to put out work in our space, I would really, really love to start an independent theatre space that isn't just for producing theatre works in Bloemfontein specifically, because we don't have that. We are super reliant on our state theatres that has workshops, that has reading rooms, that has libraries. A small library doesn't have to be anything big, but an independent theatre space that can house artists. That's kind of like my current dream at the moment. And who knows, maybe we can have a drama therapist in that space as well. And artists can come and have access to that drama therapist, you know? So that's kind of call you. That's kind of where I am now. You know, I still want to have that skills development company. Is something that I was really hoping for. But where I am right now would be lovely to have an independent theater space where artists can come experience their work, build it in a way that they want to build it as well, share their needs, and kind of let that space be dynamic and responsive to the needs of artists, because that's exactly what I need at the moment, you know. So seeing what is the gap right now in our industry, once again, easier said than done, but that's kind of where my heart is. Yeah.
Well, thank you so much, Sbahle.
Thank
So
you.
happy that we got a chance to. Thank you so much. All right, everybody. I'm going to hand over the torch to my lovely co-host, Dr. Fern. Dr. Fern, are you still with us?
Hi, Rhea. Yes, I
Please take
am. Yes, I am. Yes, I am. Oh, thank you so much for that exciting morning you've given us so far. I almost had to look twice and say, oh, no, look, she's talking twice. But it was you. It was beautiful. So thank you. Thank you for that. Next up, we're going to just get our minds relaxed and in a frame to hear from a spoken word piece from Ivy Rose, titled Ivory Rose. And Ivory, I think, is an occupational therapist out of USA. So let's give a warm welcome to hear from Ivory Rose. Okay. And while we wait for Ivy Rose to come up, okay, there it is.
They say put your own oxygen mask on first and then help the person seated next to you. But what if there was a mask that breathes life into both of us simultaneously? What if I give to you my last dying breath and just the act of giving breathes life back into my own lungs, near collapsed and deflated? What if by lighting your fire, my flame grew brighter, like a mirror to a flame in the desert? What if our bodies forgot which heartbeat was which, as you held my hand and pulled me up, your own heart growing stronger in the process? What if adolescent boys in inner city schools who witnessed community violence, but managed to help others, therefore had less aggressive behavior? The mirror in the school bathroom reflecting back to them their strength, power, and compassion. What if refugees from war-torn countries ached a little less for their homeland as they extended a hand to other refugees who arrived on the shores of Australia? Their outstretched hand a welcoming, somehow reaching out to their own former selves in the process. What if I am not without you and you are not without me? What if I am in you and you are in me, and it is impossible for me to pour into you without pouring back into myself? What if helping you fly gives me wings, like women with MS who became stronger just by providing a compassionate phone call to another? What if just writing a card to a friend in need could reduce spikes in your blood pressure under stress, and reduce the stress hormones in your saliva? What if you lifted a friend in need and that lifted you? What if the Yankees' batting average soared every year when they visited the children's hospital, pouring an infusion of caring into the children, which loop back to them like an ECMO machine, warming and oxygenating their blood and putting it back into their bodies, allowing them to be even more capable? What if just helping a neighbor helped college students cope as they stood in the dust of the Christchurch Mosque terrorist attacks in New Zealand? And what if even the mere intention of helping someone else in the future led to greater happiness? And what if even having helped someone in the past did too, as though caring for others was a drug that did not know the limits of time? What if volunteering weekly brought the equivalent change in happiness of moving from an income bracket of less than $20,000 US a year to a bracket of $75,000 to $100,000 a year, as though love were a currency more powerful than money? What if we had, not within ourselves individually, but within the connections and interactions between us, an untapped tool for healing? What if helping others was a public health intervention? What if all of this was true? Would you do anything differently?
Oh, wow, that was something else. Ivory has reminded us that words are anchors that mark our own identity. She has whispered that voice, beautiful voice, that our identity could be marked by a global sense of community. Isn't that something that we can infect each one and the other? Next up, we hear from Nazir Ali. And he's going to share interlude. He's another part of our alumni, our family, our own GAIMF community.
نحب فيها نعيش
ونشوف فيها ناس تعيش.
نحب الحياة دنياها المحبة نحب فيها نعيش ونشوف فيها ناس تعيش شعور وإحساس حوالهم لا باس شعور وإحساس حوالهم لا باس أصل الحياة بلا حب ما هتمشيش نحب الحياة وأيامها وبالحب نرضى شرعها وأحكامها نحب الحياة وأيامها وبالحب نرضى شرعها وأحكامها ونقول غدوة الشمس بعد ظلامها ونقول غدوة الشمس بعد ظلامها والروح ليها نبوح ما تخافيش ايش الحياة لو غاب عليك غرامها انسى الملام والحب ما تنسيش الحياة حب الحياة وانغامها وبالحب نكتب شعرها وكلامها حب الحياة وانغامها بالحب نكتب شعرها وكلامها ونغني للحياة مدامها ونغني للحياة مدامها هي الأمل ما دمت فيها نعيش الروح لما تحب لها لامها من غير حب القلب ما يغنيش حب فيها نعيش ونشوف فيها ناس تعيش حب الحياة ودنيا المحبة حب فيها نعيش ونشوف فيها ناس تعيش شعور وإحساس أحوالهم لا بأس شعور وإحساس أحوالهم لا بأس أصل الحياة بلا حب ما هتمشيش
Wonderful, wonderful, wonderful. Didn't you enjoy that piece? Wasn't it amazing to see the level of talent and execution a part of this beautiful, beautiful community? How are you guys today? Send me a word in the chat. Send me a word in the chat. Let me know how you're feeling. How's the experience so far? Yeah, how are things today? Do you need a stretch? Don't be afraid to get up off those seats and take a stretch. Take a deep breath in. It's a lot. I am. It's amazing. I'm the view close.
All right, everyone. What we're gonna do next is we are going to have a few fellows, and we're gonna do a segment that's called Ignite Talk with new fellows. And we're just gonna have Sushma Bata, who's a researcher, photographer, and storyteller from Nepal.
Journey with you. So I'm going to share my screen here. So my title is My Journey from Dreams to Reality. So I was born in a small family. These are my parents and me. And as a kid and as a growing up, I always dreamt of traveling, traveling around. But it was difficult as a female because they would not allow you to travel anywhere on your own. So I lost my parents at a young age. That had really deep impact on my growing up. That's like, and the struggle and the stress comes with is a really sometimes becomes difficult to challenge, to cope with it. So like, because of that, I always wanted to be in a very peaceful places, like somewhere in the mountain where there will be no human being. I always dreamed of that, but I didn't know like I would ever manage to do that. So, and when I would like stuck and sad, thinking of these mountains would like really keep going. So these are the photos I took during my journey in Nepal, around Nepal. And life offered me opportunity to travel. I get a job with different organization that I have to travel with them. So I got and then I would travel on my own also to explore my country. So I was like escaping just to be somewhere in the mountain where I could find my peace. And I did keep doing I keep doing that. I keep doing that for like many years. And later on I realized that was the whatever I wanted to escape from, that became like it helped me to like self discovery. So these are also the photos around the country when I was traveling. So like when I was traveling then, and you would meet the people, and normally in the remote part of the country it's not easy to get access to anything. So I would see this people like need help, and I would like me and with some of my friends, we try to help. So whenever I could, I just try to help with the people. And this really helped me to establish a connection with the people and the communities, and it bring me close to them. And like and then like when I would like see the smile on their face, that would really give me a peace. Like I could sleep very well in the night, like during the nights. So I realized sometimes like happiness is within ourselves. Sometimes we have to find it. So yeah, I was quite happy to be the part of the people life, and and that's very good. Those were the good days of self discovery, I would say that. And like when I was traveling, I started taking photos, and I realized I take like okay photos, but I think it's good for me. So and then it inspired me to write this story. I see this Humans of Newark somewhere, and I just wanted to create something like that. So I started like writing, collecting, and writing stories of the people they would tell me, and I wanted to share it to the world, and at the same time give back something to the community. So I did that. I started and I launched a blog in 2018, and I started traveling around the country to get the stories, which really, I just travel almost all the part of country, which really helped me to understand my own country and culture. And I fall deeply in love with my country so much. And this is my blog that travels around my Nepal. And so, yeah, that's all. Thank you so much for having patience with me. And I hope you a good day to everybody. Namaste.
Namaste, namaste. Oh, thank you. Thank you so much, Sushma. By our stories, our lives are told. And folks, if we think of some of our motifs that we've been hearing this evening, this morning, wherever you are, we've realized that fire has been one of our Global Arts and Medicine Fellowship's underlying motifs. And that's because fire has its ability to infect and spread. And as you know, this is what we're seeing today. You've heard from Rhea, Odindamole, our 10 testimonials, Siba, me, a member of cohort 5, and we've just heard from Sushma. And each one of our stories, each one of these amazing fellows, part of our network, and what we see coming together is that community. And as we continue to ignite in these talks, next we have Meron Tadali, hope I'm not butchering your name, my deepest, sincerest apology, who's a clinical pharmacist out of Gaimf, Ethiopia. Let's welcome Meron.
Greeting to all. This is Miron Neo from Ethiopia. I am a clinical pharmacist and a candidate of supply chain management. Today, my Ignite talk will be Art My Medicine. I'm a 29 years old woman. I was born and raised in Ethiopia. I studied my bachelor degree in clinical pharmacy and also my master degree in logistics supply chain management. And I served as a community, as a Retract Club for 4 years, and as a public relation club service director and secretary. And then I have joined the Rotary Club as a club service director. And third child, I attempted suicide at the age of 15 years, and this is because as a foster child, I was thinking that I always felt left out and also get depressed because I was thinking and I perceived that I was not meant to be created, and then with my physician, he tried to treat me with art and photography beside of giving me medicines, and then after that I get inspired by doing art and music and also dance and photography in the medical treatment journey. Then after 10 years later, I began to add this in patients, and also as my role as a healthcare giver and a community server, I have witnessed that the art, music, and photograph have a huge impact on creating compassion and also facilitate the healing process, especially in cancer patients and also in mentally ill patients through my journey. And we have a lot of mentally ill patients and cancer patients in our country, Ethiopia. And then through my journey, I try to accomplish in one of the local cancer one of the local cancer pediatrics association by doing art therapy to the children, by making them paint and also by making them draw and sketch art, and they try to express their unspoken feelings through art. And by doing this, we try to even get a fund to the association by selling their artists and by selling and auction their artists. And also every week we try to make a music festival to the children, so that they will going to have their self-discovery, and also they're going to reduce their stress, and they're going to emotionally connected to the community and to themselves. And also we try to paint some governmental hospitals patients room through drawing and art, which in order to create insight into their emotion and also perception, in order to also this will going to decrease depression, especially for chronically ill patients. So my vision to my community is that the multicultural nation and nationality. I'm understanding the culture and tradition aspect of, and also their custom aspect of every multicultural nation and nations. It's very difficult, and also it's going to lead a good opportunity to incorporate art, music, and photography to the community. So in order to incorporate this element, we should educate and reason. We should resonate with the community to ensure the acceptance and engagement as one of art in medicine. So ensuring I also that I'm going to plan to ensure access in order to make affordability to the art supply, music and instruments, and also basic photography equipment. So in order to do that, we have to consider partnership with local businesses and also organizations to provide these materials. And by tailoring the art, the music and the photography therapy program, it's going to be unique cultural context and collaboration with the local communities. And also it's possible to create sustainable and impactful initiation that's going to contribute to the mental health and also well-being in developing country like Ethiopia. So
Lovely, lovely, lovely. Thank you so much, Maron. Can you see what we have a part of our cohort 6, multi-talented individuals? Maron has shared that the power and beauty that comes from art, and even more from the intersection of medicine and art. Cohort 6, are you excited? These are the people that you will be working closely with. These are the phenomenal individuals that belong to your group. And next, I'll introduce our next phenomenal individual, which is Elizabeth Barr, our occupational therapist and multimedia artist out of USA.
Everyone, I'm Liz Barr. I'm an occupational therapist from the United States, and the title of my Ignite talk today is Arts and Medicine Advocacy for Community Wellness. I want to start the talk today with a scene from my childhood. Picture this, a kitchen floor covered in newspaper, a little girl with paint on her fingers, creating her world on paper while her mom works nearby. That little girl was me. Growing up in the Northeast of the United States, I was the first in my family to achieve both a bachelor's and graduate degrees. Art has always been my consolation, as well as my curiosity. Especially during my most difficult days, I found companionship in dancing, drawing, making, and creating little pop-up books. In those quiet moments of creation, I found my voice, a voice that I often struggle to use as a person with stress, anxiety, and burnout. Art became my sanctuary and my way of communicating without words. As I ventured into young adulthood, my mom and I embarked on a project that was close to our hearts, raising awareness of cancer and supporting young women in our community. This was my first real step into my role as a health advocate, where I learned about the impact of collective action and the importance of health equity. Faced with the crosswords between art and science, I chose a path that allowed me to explore both, occupational therapy, which is known as both an art and a science in the healthcare field. My journey took me from a bachelor's of arts in psychology to a master of science in occupational therapy at New York University, while also taking art therapy courses and completing a fellowship that focused on accessibility for older adult artists. The duality between art and science became the foundation of my work as a clinician. I eventually received my doctorate from Boston University and focused my doctoral project on training and teaching occupational therapists how to advocate for others as global citizens. This entailed thinking globally, but acting locally. Today, as an occupational therapist, multimedia artist, a health writer, and a fiction author, I stand at the meeting of art and healing, championing the cause of health equity. Through my work, from dozens of research articles to the hands-on mentorship of students, I advocate for art's necessary role in both wellness and healing. As I continue on with my academic journey, which is currently a Master's of Arts in Creative Writing at Harvard Extension, I am always reminded of the power of story. Like the great poet and Jungian analyst Clarissa Pinkola Estes says, ours is not the task of fixing the entire world all at once, but stretching out to mend the part of the world that is within our reach. One of the most calming and powerful actions you can take is to intervene in a stormy world, is to stand up and show your soul. Soul on decks shines like gold in dark times. The light of the soul throws sparks. It can send up flares, build signal fires, causing proper matters to catch fire. I thank you all, my fellow advocates, artists, healers, therapists, and dreamers for joining me in this collective journey in the Global Arts and Medicine Fellowship. I'm looking forward to collaborating, learning from one another, and creating a world where everyone has a voice and art is given its meaningful place in health. Thank you.
Thank you, Elizabeth, for sharing. Folks, we have just heard from Shushma, Maron, and Elizabeth. a storyteller, a clinical pharmacist, and an occupational therapist. And although they've come to this particular experience from various quarters, we get a united message. And what is that message? That we can, each of us, contribute to healing the world by building community, by sharing our resources, by sharing our stories, by being good to each other. And that is the basis of the Global Arts in Medicine Fellowship. We come together, we work together, and we go towards healing the world. If we think of our anthem, heal the world. Yeah? So let's come together. Now we have another musical interlude, this time by Peter Oluwadare out of Gaimf, Nigeria. Isn't it a wonderful world? It's amazing. It's amazing. Beautiful piece. Next, we will have, actually, we will hear from, and it's interesting. We've been moving through today, and we have been exposed to so many wonderful personalities. And now we have the privilege to really interact with our founder and executive director, Mr. Kunle Adewale. Cohort 6, as you progress through this meeting, you will hear of much pepper soup. And we look forward to the beauty that is Mr. Adewale in terms of his infectious behavior and personality. Kunle is the founder and executive director of the Global Arts in Medicine Fellowship, a steering committee member of the WHO Jamal Arts and Health Lab established with New York University. But much more than that, he's our big brother. He's our friend, he's our listener, he's that heart of the GAIMF Fellows. Kunle?
Hi, everyone. Can you hear me? You doing okay? I will appreciate if your video is working. You can put on your video. I would love to see our faces, our smiles, the joy, the sunshine, the radiance, the energy in the room. We want to see that smile. Wonderful, wonderful, wonderful. If your camera is working, you can just put on your camera, right? Anyways, but it's good to see all of you today. It's been an inspirational Sunday afternoon here in Manchester for me, and I'm sure for some people who are living different part of the world, it's evening time already, and some people are just waking up, from their bed anyway. Thank you so much, Dr. Fern, for the introduction. Again, the Global Art Immersive Fellowship Program is something that I always look forward to every year. Every 3 months, I always look forward to it because it's actually an opportunity to build new relationship, to build new partnership, to build new collaboration, either with our new faculty members or new fellows that are coming into the program. And it's also an opportunity to hear about the stories of art and health, from around the world, as we've heard today, from Siba, from Meron, and from Sushma, to just hear all the great inspirational stories, of people probably that lost their parents, people that are going to take their lives, and then now to see how the arts has become a beacon of hope for them, and to see how they are now paying it forward by spreading light, by spreading love, by spreading joy through creativity, by amplifying possibilities that actually are integrated and infused across communities, and serving the members of their communities as well. So yeah, it's been a wonderful opportunity to just hear all the amazing stories. Anyway, I'm not giving vote of thanks, so I'm just probably going to talk about the fellowship itself, and which I think already Oyinda have really like provided a background to. And then so I will just share few things about the fellowship. I know many of us are thinking, what does this fellowship entail? How can I benefit, or what does it, what do I stand to gain anyways? But I believe very strongly, even from listening to the testimonials of fellows from Botswana, from Egypt, from Tunisia, from United Kingdom, from Nigeria, from Ghana, and from everywhere, you could hear the impact stories of people who actually really benefited largely from the fellowship. So I'm going to be sharing my screen very quickly, just to talk about, the fellowship itself, how it started, the journey so far, and I think we need to hear it anyway. So I'm going to share my screen right away. Okay. Wonderful. So just like Dr. Fern has actually said, I would say that the Global Art in Medicine Fellowship is actually not a program. The Global Art in Medicine Fellowship is actually a family. So here we are one big family, regardless of what you look like, where you come from, your background, whatever that has happened to you. The Global Art in Medicine Fellowship is a family. It's a family. It's not a program. It's a room where, a place where we find collaboration, right? Where we find joy, where we find expressions, for our journeys. So just like many people actually, said, about the journey, I was say something. There is something beautiful about starting from a small place. There is something beautiful about starting from a small place. I remember very well being born in Lagos, Nigeria, way back about 4 decades ago, about 40 years ago, born into the slum area of Mushin, Lagos, Nigeria. And I was born into a family where, there was always crisis and chaos and violence and all of that. So I grew up in the midst of, violence. I grew up in the midst of, environment with crime, just like Siba said earlier on about the township being, filled with crimes and all of that. That was the kind of environment I grew up. No aspiration, no dream, nothing else. And, growing up in this environment kind of like impacted my lives in a negative way, in a way that I felt like I have nothing to contribute to the world. I have nothing to contribute to the community, right? And then that kind of like, affected me in a way that in the place of my mental health, I had I have low self-esteem, no confidence in myself. And even when I went to school, as at those period, I always walk alone. And I remember very well also kind of contemplating suicide, just like, some people have actually said today. So some of us, our stories are kind of interrelated. But, along that line, along that route was where I found creativity, I found expression through art. And art kind of like brought me out of dark place. Art brought me out of the trauma that I have personally experienced as a young person. And then from there, I started volunteering, as somebody who has these elements of genetic disorder called sickle cell anemia. So I'm AS. So I started thinking about what can I do for members of my community back home in Nigeria. Way back almost about 9 years ago, I started volunteering, creating programs for the sickle cell, foundation in Nigeria, supporting young people and children, with chronic, illnesses such as sickle cell anemia, creating art programs, bringing so much joy into this community, and to see what that means. And also spending my time also with children and young people living with cancer in Nigeria, because I know what it is to feel left out. I know what it is not to be wanted. I know what it is to be left behind. But one of the things that came to my mind was facilitating creative processes and creative engagement and projects like this, where we started doing art programs for children, even in pediatric oncology of the Lagos University Teaching Hospital in Nigeria. And in the midst of that, doing all of those things, I was also spending my time working with children who have been affected by wars, who have been affected even by by terrorists in one way or the other. So I started working with children from internally displaced camps, in the northern part of Nigeria. Spend the time, because I know, again, like I said, I know what it is to have trauma. I know what it is to have difficulties in my life. I know what it is not to have access, to privileges that people are enjoying. But taking art to these places kind of brought so much joy because of the smile on the faces of some of the children, the joy and the expression they find. So much brought positivity, out of my life. And while doing that, I had opportunity of being invited by the US government in 2015 to the United States. I've been recognized alongside other exceptional young African leaders. So I had opportunity of meeting with President Barack Obama way back in Washington, D.C. in 2015, be recognized as one of the young people who is using art for civic engagement, who is using art to bring healing, to bring health, to bring well-being to lives of people in my community. And while doing that, I was invited by the US State Department to just come talk about the impact of what we've been doing using art and creativity in telling our stories, in changing lives, and bringing so much joy to the communities, right? And then so when I go back to Nigeria, I started thinking about what can we do, how can we amplify what we're doing. And through that, we got support from the US State Department, the US Embassy, and then we founded the Art in Medicine Fellowship Program way back 2017, 2018. And through that, we started having exchange programs, even with, UF Center for Art in Medicine program, where we had some of our fellows who traveled, to Gainesville, Florida, to have an exchange program with Dr. Jill, and also with some, some members of the faculty of the UF Center for Art in Medicine program. So our core values as an institution and family include the stewardship, volunteerism, servant leadership, collaboration, shared knowledge and skills, empathy, respect, friendship, passion, optimism, social capital, global development, inclusion, diversity, honor, shared greatness. So we celebrate our fellows, we celebrate ourselves, we honor people in our circle, right? Our goal as a fellowship include to collaborate with and train relevant stakeholders on art and health engagement. We will also aim to build a global network of art in medicine and art and health practitioners to inspire intergenerational, interdisciplinary, and international track-based programs. Our goal also include, to deliver and provide art-based interventions for the well-being of community members. This is our theory of change, which include the input on having, the Global Arts and Medicine Fellowship leadership, having world-class art in health practitioners as faculty members, funding opportunity, fellowship opportunity even outside of the fellowship, and global network of volunteers, having all of that. And through this, we have, experience in the fellowship, seeing fellows ideation of, global projects, through their festival programs, and to see the incredible work they are doing, the weekly activities, peer-to-peer mentorship, which include the activities we're going to be having, during your cohorts, and the regional group exercises, the track group engagement, and all of that. And we've seen how this has given us an outcome in the area of increased number of art in health medicine professionals and practitioners, across the world, even increasing the promotion of the use of arts as an important complementary health and well-being practice, across other incomes we've seen. And above all, the focus is to have good health and well-being. The fellowship that started way back in 2017 to 2018, to see the growth from Lagos to Lagos Abuja, from Lagos Abuja to having a national program, to having a Pan-African program during the COVID 2019, 2020, 21, to becoming a global art in medicine fellowship program. We've seen over 1,000 people applying to the fellowship from over 60 countries in the world. And that's to show the impact and the increasing, passion and interest that we have experienced. So the Global Art in Medicine Fellowship offers a theoretical and practical learning in the field of art and health, professional development, mentoring, internships, cultural exchanges, research opportunities, and interdisciplinary collaboration to give fellows a global enriching experience with the world's leading experts and institutions in the field of art in medicine, creative therapies, and art and health initiatives. So the Global Art in Medicine Fellowship Program, as we see, is an international, intergenerational, interdisciplinary track-based program with focus on 4 major tracks: civic engagement and creative practice track, business and entrepreneurship track, research and education track, leadership and management track. Prior to this time, we have had a fellowship more like a generalized open fellowship program. But beginning, in the 2024, beginning with cohort 6, we just introduced the track-based program to see that fellows are able to get the best out of the fellowship, to be able to help them in their professional journey, to be able to help them, build new relationship with other people from other parts of the world. The fellowship program, as we see, has a support system, which include the leadership team and the alumni network. The faculty members and also the board members are part of the, the system that help to support, the fellowship in a way that it has continued over the years to thrive, to triumph, and to go up in amplifying the greatness of our fellows, people like yourself who have been part of the fellowship in the previous, cohort. So the Global Art in Medicine Fellowship Program is a 12 to 13 weeks of intense hybrid weekend program. Just like today, we're spending this meaningful Sunday time together, having conversation on health, conversation on well-being, conversation on sustainability, conversation on how do we bring hope, the audacity of hope through storytelling of people who have been marginalized. Right. So for all of you who have been, shortlisted for the fellowship, congratulations to all of you. So for the next 12 to 13 weeks, we're going to be together on Saturdays and on Sundays. So some tracks will be having their session on Saturdays, while some will be having their session on Sundays. And definitely very soon, we're going to be sharing some of the schedules of the fellowship program with all of you. So in case you are not able to make the fellowship like a Sunday like this, right? The fellowship sessions are recorded, just like this opening ceremony is recorded for many people who are not able to make it today. So you can go back, go watch the recordings, and of course, do mark your attendance as instructed by monitoring and evaluation team and also the admin team as well. An integral part of the Global Art in Medicine Fellowship Program is the Global Art in Health Festival, which again, you are going to see your schedule very shortly. 2 weeks of fellows regional community project featuring cross-tracks, co-designing, cross-tracks, co-production, collaboration in terms of what you want to do in your region, in your community, in your city, across board. Whether it's going to be in the hospital, whether it's going to be in the health centers or hospices, community centers or other places, displaced camp, academic institution, wherever you choose to do your project. Right. So the fellowship give you opportunity to bring practicality, in terms of the theoretical sessions you have had with some of our faculty members. Now watch this particular, case story from the festival as executed by our fellows. Enjoy.
Hello, I'm Catherine Crowley and I'm based in Kerry in Ireland, which is at the very western edge of Europe. The European team members couldn't meet in person for this project because we're scattered all over. So we took some small individual actions and then collaborated to figure out how to share some insights with you today. We looked at creativity through the lens of visual art, virtual reality therapies, music, and conversations to see how creativity instills a sense of joy in our aging population. I hope that you enjoy this little glimpse at how creativity fosters joy in our aging population.
Joy is chatting with like-minded people, dancing. It's those small moments that matter. The data tells us that a lot of physical and emotional responses have been documented. Increased alertness, social activity, a boost to self-worth, more optimism about life in general, and positive changes in health behaviour.
Dancing to different musics that interest her, that piques her interest, actually brings out the fun parts of her, brings joy to her. And with this part of art, she's able to express so much love to her members of her family and to members of her society as well. It actually takes her into her meaning, into the very beginning, into the meaning of everything that happens around her. These are actually areas that can be harnessed to help and also to alleviate the burdens of aging.
We use virtual reality, creative therapies, and immersive technology to support the well-being of everyone from children with autism up to the elderly with Alzheimer's. Virtual reality has opened a new world of possibilities for those who may struggle physically or mentally. At VR Therapies, we are able to paint with stars and fire, creating magic all around us. We can bring artwork to life and walk under Van Gogh's Starry Night or sit beside Mona Lisa, fusing art and medicine into a magical prescription, helping people, most importantly, smile again.
One a penny, two a penny, up crust buns. Oh yeah? Yeah. Wonderful. And please do. Do you know?
The world is colorful, the world is beautiful. We shouldn't forget the fact that art is exploration. Art can be photography, art can be dance, and art can be having to paint.
What brings me joy? Having a purpose, to accept every day as the sun rises. This is our dream.
Our greatest asset is collaboration, and every one of you, our dear esteemed art and medicine fellows from Africa, Asia, the Americas, Middle East, Europe, and the United Kingdom, all of you are the greatest asset that we have. So the vision and the future of this fellowship belong to all of you. It's time to unlock the doors of greatness through collaborative cross-cultural exchanges. Thank you.
Thank you kindly, Kunle. Thank you so much. So cohort 6, as you have heard at GAIMF, we keep growing, we keep fine-tuning, we keep learning. Cohort 6, for the next 3 months, ready yourself for an amazing experience as you engage on a journey to thrive and triumph. 4 goals, 4 tracks, one united community to better the world. All right. And next, we are going to hear an ensemble by Amy Tuttle and Julia Oquera Bianco. I hope I got that correctly. All right. These are two wonderful sisters in our family. So the floor is now theirs. Ladies.
Remember, your life is sacred. Remember why you came here. Remember, your life is sacred. Ay, 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 Remember, your life is sacred. Remember why you came here. Remember, your life is
Lovely, lovely, lovely. Isn't it calming? Calming to your soul just to listen to that musical interlude and hear those voices. Just mellow and soothe you by. So cohort 6, we have promised an amazing experience, but we have not yet introduced those drivers and conductors and coaches. So without further ado, I am here to tell you, give you an opportunity to meet our dedicated and talented faculty, board members, and leadership team that is your GAIMF team. Welcome. A powerful team, don't you agree? Whichever track you select, engagement is assured. Wonderful, wonderful, wonderful. Folks, how are you feeling? Send me a little message in the chat. Let me know if you are excited as I am for this new cohort. Let me know what's happening, how you feeling. We're almost to the end, but let me know what you think. You know, tell us, tell us, tell us, tell us. Are you really excited? What are you looking forward to? Give me one word that tells how you feel at the moment. Yeah? Rhea, you can probably check that chat for me and let me know what's happening. Some of those words that people are sharing with us. All right, beautiful. So next, because we have a beautiful jam-packed session for you. We have a Frontliners musical. We are at the intersection of arts and medicine. It would be remiss if we don't have the beauty that's art. Rhea, did you see anything that you wanted to share? I just saw a glimpse of you.
Yes, there's a somebody's pinching themselves because they're so excited to join the Global Arts and Medicine family. A lot of people are saying that it's inspiring and they're inspired to learn. I love the part where it says it's been inspiring and a mind-blowing experience. I'm glad that some people's minds are blown. Yeah, but everybody is very excited and can't wait. But yes, please keep pinching yourself, but don't hurt yourself too much. But keep pinching yourself. Yeah.
Change the spot. Change the spot. Don't pinch in the same spot all the time. Okay, so let's hear that Frontliners musical. Take it away.
No matter how dark the night may be, morning would surely come. After the rainfall, sun would shine again. Don't lose hope.
Hand in hand, yes, we can make the world a better place. Help is not so far, only just look within.
Sometimes don't last forever, you would come out way more stronger.
Don't you give up, don't let go, we're all in this together.
Together we are one, holding hands, we will last till the end. Standing, together we are one, holding hands, we will last till the end.
Just how we thought it over, from being in the life of sickness to the minds of Maranganes. Our call runs over. We are rising like a phoenix from the ashes in pandemic, not an end. How we keep the hope alive. The storm in tears, we ride, we stand for sure. Together in law, because we care. Just so you know you're not alone.
No, it's not the time to run through all our fears and doubts. What is lost will make us rise. You're not alone.
You are not alone. You are not alone. You are not alone. We are here with you. You are not alone. You are not alone. We are here with you. You are not
You are not alone. Hope will make you rise, make us rise. And I want to introduce next somebody that reminds us that we are not alone through her talent, through her skill, through her appreciation of people and love for others. Here is Amy, our Amy. Amy, take the floor.
Okay, thank you so much for the beautiful introduction. What an inspiring day so far. I hope that as our minds are being blown and we're finding ourselves so inspired, that we're also tapping into our sense of connection and starting to root deeply into this program, this opportunity. So my name is Amy Tuttle, and I am pleased on behalf of the Board of Directors of the Global Arts in Medicine Fellowship, as well as the faculty and just friends, community, family, to welcome each and every one of you as you embark on this tremendous learning journey. Welcome, welcome, welcome. We are so enthused to meet cohort number 6. Let that sink in for just a moment. That means 6 cohorts before you, 5 cohorts before you, to lead to this momentous moment in which we're connecting for the first time. It's also really meaningful to us to experience how your presence is a marker for the growing global community response to this field that we love, to arts and medicine itself. So you are embarking on a journey of interdisciplinary collaboration, of deep learning, research, personal and professional growth. And during this fellowship, my encouragement to you is to stay connected with why you said yes to this journey. Why did you say yes? And how can you most deeply engage with this opportunity, this once in a lifetime opportunity? So some questions for you to keep close to yourself throughout this entire experience are, why was it important for me to pursue this opportunity? And how can I sustain this why? Also, just keep your yes close to your mind and also close to your heart. As you continue to find opportunities to deepen your engagement with this learning opportunity and with each other, with this family, like we love to call it, enjoy the connections and dedicate yourself as fully as you possibly can to the learning, the connection, the growth in this super unique opportunity to connect with practitioners from all over the world. So congratulations for being a part of this incredible, precise, professional, growing, and familial community. And thank you so much for your participation today and into the future throughout this cohort. Your contributions to our beloved field of arts and medicine are essential, and we cannot wait to continue to learn with you, to grow with you, and to deepen our field of practice and study together. We really look forward to getting to know you. Thank you, warm greetings, and just give yourself a recognition of heart for your courage to be here today and over the course of the fellowship.
Thank you so kindly, Amy. Thank you, thank you, thank you. All right, so no program is complete without housekeeping. All right, so I am going to provide some announcements that will hopefully provide some clarification for you guys. But if you need any further assistance, please, please, please reach out to admin via email or WhatsApp, okay? So you are strongly advised to fill out the confirmation form after you make your payment, all right? So we appreciate that you've made the payment, but it's also critical that you complete those confirmation forms so that we can process those things and help us. It's many of you, and you will help us so greatly if you take the time to fill the confirmation form and send forward. We have been using those confirmation forms in order to send emails indicating that we did in fact receive what we need to get from you, including your payment. So if you have filled the form and you have not yet received an email confirming this, please send a message to Timmy. That is that is Ahmed Timulin, and you can search for his name under the admin section in WhatsApp if you don't know who Timmy is just by me saying that, okay? So just go into your WhatsApp group, look for the admin, look for the name Ahmed Timuhalin, and that would be your Timmy, all right? The deadline for the fellowship participation fee is the 25th of February, which is fast approaching. So we just want to ensure that you keep that date in mind. We have various methods for payment. So please reach out if you are experiencing any difficulty so that we can help you troubleshoot those challenges. Fellows will be grouped during the fellowship according to tracks, as you know. But we have two first subdivisions. We have a track A based on groups, right? Regional groups, and then of course based on your particular interests. All right. You will also receive mails with WhatsApp links to your tracks once you have been assigned, right? So everything is following through on the other. So we need your confirmation form so that we can send a confirmation to back to you so that we can put you in groups so that we can progress. Okay, people? So work with us, work with us, work with us. So you'll receive mails with WhatsApp links to your track-based group between this Sunday and Wednesday. If you do not receive an email from us, of course, right, by these dates, please once again reach out to Timmy on Thursday, not before Thursday. Give us until Thursday and then reach out to Timmy. You're also advised not to exit the general WhatsApp group for cohort 6. We still need you to keep that group very active, right? This is where we'll share the fellowship schedule, and any other information before we move forward. Once we move forward, things are going to be a little more streamlined, but we still want you to keep that large cohort 6 group active. Okay? Is there anything that I've said isn't clear? Can you type in the chat? Rhea, just look at the chat for me, see if we have any questions in the chat with respect to the announcements. Make sure everybody is clear about what they're required to do before we close off today. And folks, while you do that, I want you to ready yourself for us to take our classroom picture where we have an opportunity to show our beautiful smiles. All right, so make sure your camera ready, right? And get ready. If you haven't yet put on your camera, put on your camera. We have a wonderful photographer that runs through the Zoom platform taking pictures. Is my photographer ready?
Yes, he is ready. And I will just, yeah, but I think probably I will go straight first to vote of thanks before we do the photography thing. I would love us to celebrate Dr. Fern all the way from Trinidad and Tobago and Rhea for being amazing hosts for today's opening ceremony. Please, let's give it to them. Let's celebrate. Let's honor them. Let's appreciate them for being such an incredible, wonderful, energetic, inspirational host for today's opening ceremony. Thank you so, so much for sharing your passion, your energy. Thank you. We really deeply honor and we celebrate and we appreciate you. Let's celebrate our amazing speaker, Oyinda Molafake, for giving the opening remarks. Please, let's appreciate, let's honor Faithful, sorry, not Fake, sorry, because I know that. And I think also let's celebrate all our amazing Ignite speakers, Soshma, Meron, and I'm trying to remember the other person now, the other third person anyways. And also let's celebrate our wonderful Siba all the way from South Africa for that incredible fireside chat with Rhea and all our great, musicians, poet, Ivory Rose. Yeah, wonderful, wonderful. And I think I remember the other person now, Elizabeth. Yeah, Elizabeth all the way from United States Occupational Therapies. Wonderful, incredible. Let's honor all our faculty members, all our team leads, leadership, for the great work. Our board members who are present here today, our faculty members. I saw a few of them. I saw Mrs. Achenyo Idacheba, we have Emitoto, we have Julia, and many other people who have, of course, come here today to honor us with their presence. Let's appreciate them. Let's also appreciate all the alumni members of the fellowship who came here today. Let's celebrate them. Let's appreciate them. It's been such a wonderful opening ceremony. And most importantly, you celebrate yourself for joining us today for the opening ceremony. Your presence really means a lot to us. Thank you for showing up. And all our incredible guests, even outside of the fellowship, who showed up for today's opening ceremony. We really, really, really appreciate you. Right. So that is vote of thanks from my own side anyways. This opening ceremony is recorded, and I saw that many people are putting in the chat. They're asking for the schedule. The schedule is ready and will be shared with you shortly. And also, many of you already selected your tracks. So I believe you did that during your application. So we're not going forth and back. This is a fellowship that is very structured. So we don't want going forth and back, and then we don't want to stress the people who are volunteering. to doing the work and make life easier for every one of us. All right. You will receive the details in terms of the schedules, what you will be learning. And already you've seen who your faculty members are already. So there's no need to worry about anything. Make sure you pay attention during the classes, pay attention to information shared with you, because again, we don't want the idea of going forth and back. Okay. I'm going to stop